There's a special kind of pride that you feel deep down inside, a strength that seems to thrive in Lima, Allen County.
The American way of life, to get in gear and do what's right.
An unbreakable forthright link called real American strength. Lima, Allen County, real American strength.
Keeping you up to date with what's happening in your community. Community Focus on GTV2.
Thanks for joining us today on Community Focus. I'm Anne Decker, and Cindy Wood is here today from the Civic Center, and you have a ton of upcoming programs.
I honestly can't keep them all straight in my head.
Which is why you've got your iPad.
I've got notes. I'm trying to keep everything going, yes.
What do you have coming up that's exciting?
Well, this weekend, actually, we've got a couple of local groups / regional groups coming in. For example, this weekend we have square dancing in the exhibit hall. Groups come up from Cincinnati, tri-state area, and come in. But then the weekend after that, on Sunday, October the 6th, is Spank, a 50 Shades parody. Now this show is having some huge sellouts across the country, and it's a little unusual for our market, but it should be quite a hilarious show. The promoter is billing it as a girls' night out. But there are men in the audience, just so you know. I've seen them buy tickets.
This is adults only, I would assume.
It is a little bit more mature content, yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
Well, that'll be fun. So tickets available at the moment if people stop by the box office?
Since I've last talked to you, all the shows we've been talking about, pretty much all the single tickets are on sale now, where they weren't last time.
Okay. Following Spank is?
Then we get into the Symphony Fall debut. Now, Symphony tickets are available through the Symphony office on Elizabeth Street.
Okay. In fact, Elizabeth Brown is coming up shortly after you to talk about the upcoming season.
So wonderful. So you'll hear a little bit more about what's happening. Then after that, on October the 20th, Hello Dolly, starring Sally Struthers. The promos are starting to run. And this is a national tour, so she's headlining this tour, and it's opening of the Broadway series.
That sounds like fun. I think you're going to sell out on that one.
I think it'll be a good, strong seller, and it's a good quality show.
And one everybody knows.
Yes. And then we go into a crazy weekend. And when I came to you last time, we were hadn't gone on sale yet with ZZ Top, and we have. And I'll be honest, the promoter sets the ticket prices. You know, they were a little bit higher. However, that hasn't stopped the market at all.
I'm going. I got my tickets.
Yes, you did. When people want to see something, they're willing to pay. And they're a little bit higher priced act for the size of our venue, hence the ticket price, but it's not stopping anybody.
Well, and if you go to a bigger market, these ticket prices are actually on the small side.
They are. They really are.
Compared to what I paid for Paul McCartney, this is a drop in the bucket, really.
And what did you pay for Paul McCartney?
$250 each. And those were the cheap seats.
You are a concert goer.
So don't complain about ZZ Top prices, really. It's a bargain.
It is. And we had actually paid attention to some Facebook posts, and compared to where they're playing in some other casinos, it's right on target.
It's in line.
It's just a little bit more than what people in our region are accustomed to.
Well, what after ZZ Top?
The next day is a local gospel fest, gospel explosion. So we're going to clean up from ZZ Top and go right into that Saturday. A little bit on the opposite end of the spectrum, but it's all good. Then November gets a little crazy. So back again to the Symphony. And then Saturday, November 9th, Symphony, Elizabeth will speak to you on. Then Sunday the 10th and the 11th, Ohio Cash Explosion will be taping from the Veterans Memorial Civic Center.
What an opportunity.
It is. We're very pleased to be the host site for this, and I know they take some regional taping around the state. So pay attention to our e-news. We will have information released as to people, how they're going to do the tickets and things like that. And so it should be quite a phenomenal experience. And I believe all the taping is going to be that Monday. They're setting up on Sunday.
Okay.
And then Tuesday, we've got Spank coming up. Tuesday, November the 11th then, the opposite end of the spectrum. Or Tuesday, November the 12th. The 11th is Monday. 12th is Menopause the Musical.
You're all
So,
over the place.
we
You can't say
are.
the Civic Center doesn't have variety.
Very much, yes. And so again, this is a national touring show coming out of a production coming out of Florida. This is again receiving some rave reviews. Hilarious, hilarious music, taking hits from the 60s, 70s, and 80s and reconfiguring the lyrics, so you'll be laughing.
And again, a girls' weekend out, girls'
Yes.
night out.
Yes, but I'm lots. I can't say that it's not all women, so guys don't feel scared.
Guys like to laugh too.
That's right.
They're usually on the receiving end anyway.
Yes, and they might help add to the humor. So then we go into something new, November the 16th, Extreme Mixed Martial Arts. Ticketing information should be coming out, put on by Game Face Ohio. This is an offshoot of his business, so we're kind of excited. This is something new coming to Krause Performance Hall.
Okay.
And then we go into Mannheim Steamroller the Tuesday before Thanksgiving, which starts to kick off the Christmas season. So we're rather busy this year. The other thing that I want to give you a teaser on is Town Square Live coming up.
Which is?
The Civic Center Foundation is an independent 501c3 apart from the Veterans Memorial Civic Center accounting agency. The Civic Center Foundation has been working on some fundraising initiatives so that the Civic Center Foundation can be the promoter and launch a locally managed, locally determined performing arts series. The Civic Center as a county agency is a rental house, so our business is towards the promoters who come in and bring the shows. They make ticket pricing decisions, they make talent decisions. The Civic Center Foundation, as locally managed, is going to be launching something this spring. Marie Drum joined our staff in April for this, so we have a lot of exciting news coming up. This is wonderful for the region, wonderful for Lima. It's profits from the Civic Center Foundation's events go back into the foundation, whose mission is to support the Civic Center. So this is getting into exciting growth and development, which I'm thrilled with.
It should be a great opportunity for you, and it should be some great entertainment for us too.
It will be.
And you can't tell us who?
No, not quite.
Well, you'll have to come back and fill us in.
I will do that. And in about a month, we'll be able to do the whole series release. We've received some phenomenal community support as well.
Wonderful. Give us your website address.
LimaCivicCenter.com.
And if they want
Which is a new website.
Okay. And if they want to contact the box office?
419-224-1552. And always, I am going to plug, sign up for our e-news, because that is the best and most effective way to get information at the Civic Center right to your email, right at home. And that did hit, because with ZZ Top, people on the e-news get pre-sales opportunities.
Sure, as we did.
So it does pay off.
All right, we appreciate you coming in today.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Cindy Wood from the Civic Center.
Reduce, recycle, reuse. Allied Waste Services in the City of Lima encourage you to live green by recycling all that you can. Recycling promotes green living by reducing the amount of waste materials buried in landfills. This saves money, natural resources, and energy. Keep our environment healthy and start recycling today. Allied Waste Services is committed to a clean environment. Contact us today for your recycling needs. Visit our website, republicservicesohio.com, to learn more about recycling today.
Help keep the youth of Lima safe by donating to Lima Safety City today. Hello, I'm Chuck Eichelberger from the Lima Noon Optimist Club. Safety City is a very important part of the Lima community. The Optimist Club is renovating Safety City and it needs your help. Donations can be made by going to the website limasafetycity.org. You can also send a donation to Lima Noon Optimist Club, P.O. Box 428, Lima, Ohio 45802. Help keep the youth of Lima safe by donating to Safety City today.
Did you know that if you have information about someone who's committed a crime or know of someone who is wanted by any law enforcement agency, you can call Crime Stoppers and possibly be eligible for a cash reward of up to $1,000. All callers remain anonymous. Make the call that pays. Call Crime Stoppers at 419-229-STOP.
Crime Stoppers! Crime Stoppers! Make the call that pays! Crime Stoppers!
We're back on Community Focus. I'm Anne Decker. If you have any old electronics you'd like to recycle, your chance is coming up October 5th. Joining us here from the Solid Waste District and from Goodwill-Easter Seals are Linda Wheatrick and Kim Bramlage. Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you, Ann.
Thank you.
Tell us about your electronic recycling day.
It's going to be held on October 5th from 9 to 1 at 815 Shawnee Road here in Lima. And we will accept computers, monitors, laptops, notebooks, hard drives, printers, toner cartridges, keyboards, mice, scanners, speakers, cords and cables, software, firewalls, routers, switches, servers, and cell phones. We will not be accepting televisions this year.
Okay. Why can't you just throw this in the trash?
There's a lot of hazardous material in the computers, and so therefore we want to recycle them through Goodwill.
And what do you do with them?
Well, that's a very good question. We actually turn those items into jobs, quite frankly, but we will recycle, refurbish, reuse, and repurpose those items in any way that we possibly can. So they aren't going to the landfill, as Linda said, which that's the benefit of this kind of a program.
How do you turn them into jobs?
Well, actually, we have individuals who have disabilities that work on the computers and accessories that are donated. So they disassemble those items, they break them down literally into the pieces and parts, you know, the cords, the motors, the wires, and all those kinds of things. So this provides jobs for individuals who are in desperate need of those jobs. And then the items that we get that are still usable, that can be refurbished, are then refurbished, new software installed, and then they're sold in our stores.
Oh, great. So nothing gets wasted.
That's right.
And for the few bits that just aren't any good anymore, you guys properly dispose of them?
Everything goes to Goodwill with this electronic collection.
Okay.
And we do properly dispose of them. We have a partnership with Dell Reconnect, and so the items that we can't use or refurbish, we send to Dell, and doesn't have to be a Dell computer or anything like that, but they will take those items and they do properly dispose of, recycle the plastic and the metal and everything.
Great. What a wonderful opportunity.
It's a great opportunity for businesses, industries, and schools. They can get a hold of Goodwill ahead of time, and if they have 2 Gaylords, which are large boxes, 48 inches by 48 inches by 48 inches, they will come and pick that up and give them a certificate of destruction. When you go through the line the day of the event, we are not responsible for any data on the computer. But if you are a business or industry and have that quantity, you can get the certificate of destruction ahead of time, as long as you ask ahead of time and make plans with Goodwill.
Okay.
Yeah, so we'll take any quantities. I mean, literally, as Linda mentioned, if you're a business or a school district or something and you have large amounts of items, we will take those and we'll make arrangements to pick them up.
Oh,
so you don't have to
wonderful.
bring them on the 5th.
Yes.
How do they get in touch with you if they want to have them picked up?
Sure, the best way is probably via our website, which is gesmv.org. Also, we have a direct email address, which is ecycle@gesmv.org. And so there are lots of ways to get a hold of us, and we'll make arrangements to pick those items up.
All right. And again, the date, time, and place for the recycling?
It's October 5th from 9 to 1 at 815 Shawnee Road, and this is a great partnership with RTH Processing, the North Central Ohio Solid Waste District, the Lima Area Chamber of Commerce, and the City of Lima Utilities Department. So we've all worked hard on this.
Great. Well, I wish you well with it. I know everybody's got a computer sitting at home or in their business they just
That's
can't
right.
use anymore. And
That's right.
This is a great chance to get rid of it and have some benefit too.
And it's free.
It's free, and it's working or non-working, so you don't have to worry about thinking, oh, it's in really bad shape or it's really old. We'll still take this item.
Haul it in and get rid of it.
That's
right.
Thank you both for coming in today.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Linda Wheatrick and Kim Bramlage. And I'm Anne Decker, and this is Community Focus on GTV2.
A message from the Allen County Chiefs Association.
With the recent rise in juvenile crime, all Allen County police agencies are stepping up our efforts to reduce this with the enforcement of curfew laws.
This affects anyone under the age of 18. Local laws may vary in age and time requirements among the villages, townships, and cities in the county, so please help us in our efforts by becoming familiar with the curfew law.
Please check the websites on your screen for specific curfew information. Together we can make Lima Allen County a safer place in which to live and work.
Let's all do our part to keep the Ottawa River clean and healthy. Pick up pet waste and dispose of it in your trash. so it doesn't end up in the storm drain. Your actions matter.
Oh, good. A family wants to live here. It's been so long since I've had kids in my bedrooms. Wait, what's wrong with them? I love kids. Well, you can't find anything wrong with them. They look nice and so polite. No, nobody's ever going to live in me if you keep turning people away.
Been denied housing? Call the Lima Allen Council on Community Affairs. Our fair housing services will look into the complaint at no cost to you.
What is your name, please?
I am Doug Behringer.
I am Doug Behringer.
I'm Doug Behringer.
Remember to tell the truth. Only one person was truthful about their name. For victims of identity theft, it is not a game. They find their credit and reputations ruined. Never give out your personal information to people or businesses you are not familiar with. By the way, I'm the real Doug Behringer. I'm an attorney and the victim of identity theft. Protect yourself. It can happen to anyone.
We're back on Community Focus. I'm Anne Decker, and I'm pleased to welcome Elizabeth Brown to the studio. She is the director of the Lima Symphony Orchestra and getting ready for the big season kickoff, which is October 12th.
Exactly.
Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
What do you have coming up for us this year?
Oh, it's going to be a great season. It's our 60th anniversary.
Happy anniversary.
Thank you. Thank you. We are making this, we're calling it a season to celebrate, and we are just absolutely enjoying the best, I think, season that we've ever had. It's crafted and has put together just an incredible season of wonderful, wonderful music. We're going to be doing a little bit of looking back into where we've been for 60 years and looking forward to where we'd like to go.
In fact, I was looking at the upcoming concerts, and you've got a little bit of something for everybody.
We do. You know, we've just undergone a strategic planning process, and people have been very clear that they love what we're doing, but they'd like to see a little bit more diversity. And so we're back with Jeans and Classics. We're back with our wonderful classical concerts. We're doing Mozart by Candlelight, which people just love, Bells, Brass, and Bows. We're bringing back all the things that people love, and then adding a little bit more. This is the most visual season we've ever had. We're doing 2 multimedia concerts, Charlie Chaplin for New Year's Eve, which is this wonderful pairing of silent film and orchestra. And then in February, we're bringing Westwater Arts in with original photo choreography, and that is... It's just fascinating. I kind of compare it to going to Epcot Center and being kind of surrounded by these great big screens. We're bringing in 3 different screens, huge screens, into the Civic Center. James Westwater is a photographer from California. He's coming in with original photographs that will be timed to the music, and we're doing 2 Copeland numbers, Fanfare for the Common Man and Appalachian Spring.
So wonderful.
That's going to be an incredible concert.
Well, let's start at the top and just run down what you're doing.
Perfect.
October 12th?
October 12th, we start with Titan. We're doing Mendelssohn's Violin Concerto. We have a Russian violin soloist coming in for that, who's just incredible, wonderful, young, and full of energy and life, and it's just kind of a dancing piece. It's going to be a wonderful piece. And then we're doing Mahler, Mahler's Titan Symphony, and that's just big and momentous, and a great way to open the season. Afterwards, we're having an after party on the square, so that's going to be free to all ticket holders, so we invite people to just really come and party with us. And then in November, we'll go to Eros. We're going from kind of big and powerful to gentle and loving, doing a Tchaikovsky piece, and we're bringing in the Young Artist Competition winner from last year, Meng Zhu, who's a pianist who's just lovely and graceful, and it's going to be a really beautiful concert, I think. Then Bells, Brass, and Bows. We're back with the chorus and Christmas and all of your favorite sacred carols and classics, and we're bringing back the sing-along this year, another thing people seem to love and are asking for, so there'll be a sing-along. As I already said, Chaplin for New Year's Eve. That's just going to be kind of a dear and fun way to celebrate New Year's Eve. And that's when we really start getting kind of busy and crazy. From Bells, Brass, and Bows till Family Concert, we are performing every 2 or 3 weeks, so it's going to be...
That is a busy time
an
for you.
incredibly busy season, exactly. After that, Jeans and Classics. People loved, a few years ago, we did the music of Elton John, and there's this incredible pianist who comes with Jeans and Classics, and so we decided to really take advantage of his strengths, and we're doing the music of the Piano Men. We're doing Elton John and Billy Joel this year, and so that pianist will be back and with the original singer who came for the Elton John show, so that's going to be really, really wonderful. And then we go to Mozart by Candlelight. We're going to be at Trinity this year. We're doing one in Bluffton, but that's part of the Bluffton Performing Arts Series, so ours will only be at Trinity this year. and that's just going to be wonderful. We have someone who's coming, our principal horn player is doing the natural horn, which is kind of the precursor to the French horn, and it's just, there are no vowels, and so it's incredible. It's the way the horn was really played in Mozart's time, so that's going to be neat. You know, we always try to bring the harpsichord or something original for that, but this is, I think, the first time we've ever done the natural horn, so that'll be an entirely new experience for all of us, I think. Then February, Westwater Arts, that's going to be just, we're hoping all the snowbirds are back because that's one you don't want to miss.
That does sound amazing.
It's really going to be neat. Family concert, we have Tchaikovsky Discovers America. The same group, Classical Kids Alive, that did Beethoven Lives Upstairs, is coming back. And it's an incredibly professional show. It's a really, really neat show. It's a great way to enfranchise those middle school students that we sometimes lose. Typically our family concerts tend to be geared toward younger kids. This kind of brings in the older kids as well. And it's a very, like I said, very professional. We had 2 actors coming in from Chicago, so that's going to be fun. And 25 pieces by Tchaikovsky. So, if you love the 1812 Overture and the Canons, or if you love Sleeping Beauty and the ballets, you're going to love it. There's something for everybody there. And then we end our season with Ode to Joy, when really being joyful. Beethoven's Ninth Symphony, which is something we've been wanting to do for a long, long time, and finally just were able to bring it all together. We have 4 vocalists who are coming in from around the country. They are spectacular. I mean,
what a
really,
stunning way to close the season.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So it's going to be fun.
Tickets are available now, I assume?
Tickets are available now, yes. We just went online with our tickets. Season subscriptions are available through the office, and then single tickets are available online as well as through the office.
Some of these do sell out, so you want to make sure if there is one of these particular that you want to see, get the tickets now.
Get the tickets now.
Don't wait.
Absolutely. No, there's no reason to wait. And if conflicts comes up, we can always work with you about changing them. But yeah, it's smarter to get the tickets now.
Okay, so your website address is?
www.limasymphony.com.
And can they call?
Absolutely. 222-5701.
Okay. Anything else we need to know?
I think that's it. No, we do have a Diamond Anniversary package for people who are new subscribers. We're offering all of our concerts for a discounted price, and so we're hoping that people who haven't been subscribers before will come and join us for the full season this year.
So be sure to ask about it.
Exactly.
All right. We appreciate you coming in today.
Thank you. Thanks.
You're welcome. Elizabeth Brown from the Lima Symphony. When we come back, we will introduce you to what's going on in sister cities right after this on GTV2.
My joints ached and I was always tired.
I was always cold, I couldn't concentrate, and my body hurt all over.
My doctor told me I had lupus. Women of childbearing age, and especially African American women, are at higher risk.
If you suspect that you have lupus, you should contact your doctor.
You're invited to attend the local lupus support group meetings on the second Thursday of each month at 1 o'clock at Lima Towers. For further information, go to connectedhands.org.
Lima City Council has recently amended the city's vicious dog ordinance to deal with potential problems concerning dangerous dogs in the public.
The ordinance is comprehensive. However, here are some key elements that all dog owners and their neighbors should be aware of.
Any dog that is considered a breed of pit bull is considered a vicious dog regardless of its temperament.
A vicious dog is any dog that attacks, bites, or causes injury to a person or domestic animal with or without provocation.
Not under control of the owner and secure with a muzzle and a leash of 6 feet or less in length, all vicious dogs must be confined when outside in a pen with a secured top and bottom, or with the sides of the pen embedded at least 1 foot deep into the ground.
If you're a dog owner and have concerns about any dogs in your neighborhood, visit limapolicedepartment.com to find out more about the city's vicious dog ordinance.
The fine for non-compliance is $150 per citation, and ignorance of the law is not a defense.
If there's an emergency situation, call local law enforcement for immediate assistance.
Thank you for contacting the Ohio Utilities Protection Service before you dig, because knowing where underground utilities are located matters. It matters for the safety of your crew, the job schedule. It matters to the customers you serve, and it's the law. You can call us or go to oups.org to put the safe digging process in motion, because keeping Ohio safe every time you dig matters most.
Welcome back to Community Focus. I'm Anne Decker. This is Sylvia Clark. She is with Lima Sister Cities, and if you're interested in going to Japan, if you know a student who's interested in going to Japan, she has some opportunities coming up. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome.
Yes.
You are currently taking applications for a student visit to Harimacho.
Yes, our youth exchange program is June 2014. So we just got all the applications out to all the Allen County high schools. And it is not limited to public. We got applications out to the private schools. If someone has not heard at their high school that the applications are there, please give us a call and we will surely get those applications in. But we got them out last week, week before last. So we are now in the process.
Who can go?
Freshmen, sophomores, and juniors. We could consider seniors if there are slots open, but obviously because seniors would be graduating, getting ready to go off to college. We want the youth exchange to be a process that they can come back, share with their classmates, share with the community, and typically the seniors going off to college would not be in the area for that time. So we're first trying to fill the slots with freshmen, sophomores, and juniors.
And what's the trip like?
It is really great. I have gone on an adult exchange, but you fly over, a very long flight, so a little bit of jet lag in the process. But when you get there, Harimacho is a very gracious community. They overwhelm you with love and joy to have you there. They usually have a program so that the youth can then get to know their host families in kind of a group setting, so everyone is going to get paired up with their host family at this gathering, which is very festive. And then they will spend the next 3 or 4 days living with their host family, which is what the process is, a cultural exchange. They're very open. They want to learn about our culture. They want us to speak English to them. Of course, we're trying to get them to teach us a little Japanese in the process. But you will live the way they live. You will eat the foods they eat. Most of the host families will probably try to find out what you may or may not like, so they will work with that. I know especially young people are very hesitant. They don't have their McDonald's or whatever. but we kind of prepare them. We go through an orientation process once the students are selected to get them prepared. We have quite a few people on the committee, the Japan committee, which is the committee that oversees the process. They do preparations by helping them be familiar with the food, with the culture, so they don't go over there completely unaware. But it's a great experience. They will so much enjoy it. Many of our Japan committee individuals have either lived in Japan for an extended period of time, or and Keiko Kan is Japanese, so she's authentic.
How long did the students spend there?
It's a 6-day adventure, but you give about 2 days there for traveling back and forth.
Right.
So they will be with their families. They'll be there probably, like I said, about 4 to 5 days that they'll actually be there, and 4 days probably with their host families.
Now, are the students expected to pay the cost of this trip?
Yes, it is an expense that they have to incur on their own. We estimate right now about $2,000. That can be a little bit under, a little bit over. We wouldn't be able to finalize the cost factor until airline tickets are actually reserved, which won't happen until the first of the year.
Sure. And those change daily, so it's hard to pin it down.
Yeah. So, and we always would hope that we could get it a little bit under, so yes.
Is there any particular type of student you're looking for?
Obviously, the student that we're looking for is a well-rounded student, someone who is open, because you're going to a different country, you're going to be open to culture. We want you to be receptive to the exchange that's going to take place. So other than that, that's it. There's no major points that we're looking for there.
So they just go to their office to get an application?
We have placed the applications in the guidance counselor's office, so they just need to go to the guidance counselors and ask for an application.
Wonderful. And if they, by some chance, didn't get one and they'd like to contact you, how do they do that?
Yes, they can contact me by phone, Sylvia Clark, 419-224-8535, or they can email me. I've actually had a couple emails already. Sylvia, Sylvia, JCFH at AOL.com.
All right. That's the opportunity for the kids, but for young adults, if anybody is interested in going to Japan and teaching English, you are looking for a teacher.
We are also in the process of looking for an English teacher. It's a tutor, an English tutor that we send over. It's called an HET, Harima Chow English Teacher. They would go over, and their responsibility is to assist the middle school teachers in teaching English. So for those qualifications, obviously the individual needs to have a 4-year degree, but they do not have to have a 4-year degree in English. They do not have to be an English teacher. They do not even have to have a teaching certification. We do, obviously, since there's for teaching grammar, we would like them to have, to be able to speak well and to have good grammar techniques, but they do not have to have the English degree. They do not have to have a teaching degree. That individual can be, we have an age limit, 35, just because, you know, we want them to be flexible when they go over. It is a 2-year commitment, and Harima Chow provides a living facility, so they have an apartment, so they do not have to worry about their living expenses, and they do get, and it is a paid salary. So it's
Wonderful.
not volunteer, so it is a salary.
So if you can pack up and go for 2 years, this could be a great opportunity.
Great opportunity, yes.
And how do they apply?
Again, you can use the same information. If you're interested, give me a call or send me an email, and I can make sure that we get the applications out. I will say on that, the application deadline is October 5th. So time is running out if any adults are interested in the HET position.
Okay. In general, if people are interested in joining Sister Cities, why should they? What do you do?
Well, I know, and I'm glad you asked that, because we are still working. We were formed back in 1995, and we are an extension through the mayor's office. We made our Japan connection, our Harima Chow connection, back in 1999. But the whole idea is basically three components. We want to get involved in cultural exchange, and we are also open to other sister cities. We are in the process of seeking a sister city in some other countries at this point in time. The process is that you would be connected with a city of the same size and kind of community kind of development. So that becomes kind of the question, finding a city that's the same size as Lima. Cultural exchange is what we're all about. So promoting cultural exchange and just getting to know people around the world. That's what Lima Sister City is about. And it is an international organization.
It's a wonderful program, too. Give us your phone number and your email address one more time if people are interested in anything you've mentioned.
Okay, Sylvia Clark, 419-224-8535. Email sylviajcfh@aol.com.
Wonderful. We appreciate you coming in today.
Okay, thank you for having me.
You're welcome. Sylvia Clark with Sister Cities. I'm Anne Decker, and this is Community Focus on GTV2.
Hello. My name is Gary Shealy. I'm the Utilities Director for the City of Lima. Our domain is the Department of Utilities. We manage the water system, the wastewater system, along with the garbage and refuse contract for the city residences. The water system basically is a state-of-the-art operation. It consists of up-ground reservoirs along with a water treatment plant that can treat up to 30 million gallons of water a day. We have approximately 25,000 customers in our base, and we provide water services to the greater portion of Allen County, not just the City of Lima. The wastewater system is an advanced wastewater treatment plant operation. It has close to 350 miles of sewer pipe in it. It collects wastewater from most of the City of Lima, as well as greater portions of Bath Township, as well as Perry Township. The garbage and refuse system, we have a contract with, at this point in time, it's Allied Waste Systems. We do contract that in 5-year increments, and we provide garbage and refuse service to single-family and duplex residential houses. The utilities department itself is approximately 100 employees. We have 5 operating divisions, those being the water treatment plant, the wastewater treatment plant, field services, our customer service division, where we basically process and manage the bills and customer service, as well as the administrative division, where we administrate the various contracts and services the city provides, along with a pretreatment program to manage industrial flows.
Looking for these? You drive buzzed. It could be one very expensive ride.
First, you gotta make bail. Then pay me to get your car back.
Your insurance premiums will go through the roof.
And my legal fees just keep adding up. All told, it could end up costing you $10,000.
Nothing kills a buzz like getting pulled over for buzz driving, because buzz driving is drunk driving.
All right, thank you, Mr. Aldrich. Good morning. It's 8:07. I'm Mike Miller. News Talk 1150 WIMA. Tuesday. Always look forward to Tuesday. We talk with representatives of the city of Lima. And on this beautiful day, we welcome the mayor of the city of Lima. Mayor Berger is in studio with us. Good morning, Mayor.
Good morning, Mike. Great to be here with you.
And it's pretty shiny out, isn't it?
Oh, this is my season. I absolutely love the fall. I love the cool temps, and we got sunshine today and cool temps. It's just absolutely terrific.
It is super nice, and obviously with this preferred weather, it's that much better for construction folks, and including the folks from the city working diligently on the Market Street and Bellefontaine project with the street lighting, and slow but sure, they're making some headway, aren't they?
They are, and it's principally concentrated now on the eastern half of the project. I believe that a new completion date is the middle of October, as they're continuing to work on both the underground wiring, the foundations that they're setting, and then the new poles being set. So ultimately, it'll be done before the snow flies, but a little bit behind the schedule we had originally anticipated.
You know what's going to be nice about that, I think both from a safety and a convenience factor, when I, as the driver, pull up to the intersection and stop and I'm waiting a red light, I won't have to completely crook my head underneath the windshield to try to see it switch. With the new poles transcending over the intersection across the way on the intersection, it's quite spectacular, really.
Well, it's more convenient for certainly that first driver, but I think for anybody approaching those intersections, these are much more visible. They are a brighter LED light, and they have a black background, and as a result, they stand out. So I think for the driving public, it'll be a greatly improved situation, and also for pedestrians that are walking along those routes. So. And, of course, as the decorative lighting gets turned on, particularly as I think you come into our community, it'll be a much more welcoming approach.
And let's face it, the Market and Bellefontaine corridor is really the prime corridor, all due respect to Main Street and some other streets. In terms of east-west, it's hard to beat that for fullest impressions of the city as travelers and visitors make their way through.
We decided a number of years ago that we needed to concentrate on a single corridor as an entrance, and because of particularly the placement of the hospitals and Lima Senior, it just made sense for us to really focus on all the kinds of improvements that we can make there. Now, ultimately, over time, we'll want to see other improvements made for other entrances, but we think that it makes sense for us to remain committed to this strategy of making sure that the visual impact of that Market Bellefontaine corridor is the best that it can be.
No question about it, and we've seen that certainly on a regular basis over the last decade, or inside of the last decade, where there have been tremendous improvements just in our area here on West Market, where we're located here, Clear Channel, and extending east towards the downtown with newer buildings and new businesses and that sort of thing. So,
well, when you're correct, the downtown, of course, situated is right in the middle along that corridor. But I would also point out that at the time that then Council President Matt Huffman and I made the pitch to the Lima City Schools for moving the senior high campus, the 40 acres that we suggested to them, which was the neighborhood there next to the stadium, was the most abandoned neighborhood in the community. It was the most tax delinquent. It had the most dilapidated properties. And so what we've seen is a set of investments. It's not just this public infrastructure that we're describing now with street lighting. We're talking about a total transformation of sections of the real estate as you're coming in, and I think that the wisdom of that, I think, is apparent. I really believe that the placement of senior high there added stimulus to the overall redevelopment of the entire corridor. So we're continuing along that because I think it adds value for everyone, and I think the more we decorate, the more we improve, the more welcoming it will be, and I think we'll see ongoing investments that others will make as well.
You ever drive by senior high and try to envision what it used to be? I'm getting to the point where I almost can't recall it anymore.
Well, it's been over a decade. I think they just celebrated the 10 years of being open, so really the planning for that started about 13, 14 years ago. And it really has made a terrific difference, I think, for the students as well as the faculty, the staff, and the whole community, because it's a central location, easily accessible for everybody in the community, and I think everybody, as you're saying, it's now difficult for anybody to think back to when it wasn't there.
Yep, it's really nice, no doubt about it. Hey, speaking of aesthetics, and not just aesthetics, but just general attempts to continue to improve the city, there is some talk about holding individuals accountable with junk automobiles or junk vehicles, quite frankly, that just linger on properties.
Council has been all year, City Council has been very deliberate in both looking at the expanse of this problem, because it's occurring everywhere, and secondly, looking at the flow of work that's associated with it. And it's really a combination of junk vehicles and parking issues, people parking inappropriately. So by looking at the way in which what it is that the Ohio Revised Code requires, because real vehicles are titled property, we have to step through certain procedures in order to provide tickets or towing orders, and there were responsibilities shared between the police department and our code enforcement folks. And I think ultimately they were able, by mapping all of that process, they were able to rationalize it and reduce the duplication that was occurring in the activities of the enforcers. So at this point, I think they have narrowed it down. Most of that activity is now centered in the actions of our code enforcement staff, and we're going to ramp that up. There was a discussion last night with the Finance Committee as to how to pay for that, and both in the short term and the long, and so we're going to begin to take a more aggressive approach to this. And we recognize, particularly the parking issues, may require us to shift our hours. I mean, the normal workday for city workforce is 8 to 5. Right. But we recognize that there's a lot of violations that are occurring that are nuisance activities for neighbors, where people are parking inappropriately in their lawns or up on the boulevard areas, and that's occurring in the evenings. So what we're talking about is the opportunity to shift those hours into the evening and begin to do enforcement when the violations are taking place and when our inspectors can witness them.
All right. Oh, you're talking about just people parking in yards and stuff. Yeah.
That's true. It's all part of the same. It's how we're using our vehicles and how we're in effect abusing our neighbors with the way that we're parking.
224-1150 is our local number to call. A host of other things, interesting developments with Husky Oil. We'll talk about that. Also, late last week, the Activate Allen County getting underway. We'll define that just a bit more. And again, your calls 224-1150. Mayor Berger taking time out of his schedule to join us this morning. It's 8:17. 8:21 at Newstalk 1150 WIMA. Tuesday morning, welcoming representatives of the city of Lima. Mayor Dave Berger is our in-studio guest. Mayor, interesting developments on the big business front, and that, of course, would include Husky Oil, and that is certainly some suggestions that they are looking at some huge renovations out there in order to begin the process of processing that hard crude,
heavy crude, right?
Heavy crude, rather, and but that's a lengthy process in order to gain permission, and there's some public hearings coming up, right?
That's right. On the evening of October 1st, in City Council chambers, the Ohio EPA will be holding a hearing on an air permit that is now in draft form, which they, after the hearing, would intend to be issuing to the company, which would allow them to proceed with a set of projects that they're calling their crude oil flexibility plans.
Mm-hmm.
And that really is a set of projects that will allow them to ultimately take heavy oil, the more sour crude, which has a higher sulfur content, and mix it with the lighter crudes that they now process. And so on the front end, it will give them the ability to receive cheaper crude oils, and then on the back end, the kind of product mix where they make jet fuel and diesel and gasoline. At any given time, they'll have the ability to respond to whatever's most
needed
in the market, and they'll have more flexibility on both the front end and the back end as a result of this. And the bottom line here, these projects will ultimately be built in the next 3 years. It'll represent an investment of about $300 million. And while that sounds like a lot, and it is, in the last 7 years, we really need to look at the track record of this company.
Mm-hmm.
They not only bought that facility for close to $2 billion 7 years ago, but since then, every year, they have been spending upwards of $150 million on improvements to that plant. And you can see the improvements visibly on Metcalf in terms of the new headquarters and operations center. And so when you take that 150, multiply it by the 7